let me see, let me share the screen. I believe this is the one. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the Mavic 3 multispectral. And as you may know, that this is a very new models that DJI just launched to the market a few weeks ago. And lots of people has interest with this model. So today we're going to take a look what is the benefit that the drone can bring to our farm business. For our larger scale farmland and orchards, how to achieve more refined management. You might know that we have two aerial survey drones, DJI Phantom 4 RTK and Phantom 4 Multispectral. This year, we combine them into one. This is an M3M survey and a multispectral drone. M3M has a 20 million pixel RGB camera and a 5 million pixel multispectral camera. The camera is a 4/3 CMOS. This can help the aerial survey of the farmland and fruit tree to be very clear. The multispectral has 4 spectrums: near infrared, red H, red and green. The white part that you can see here, it is a sunlight sensor. This can obtain more accurate spectral information. Different compare previous Phantom 4 multispectral drones, and this is a sun sensor does not affected by the sunlight angles. So previously you have to do the work between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now you can use this drone to do the work at any time during the day. Before the crop season, you can use this M3M RGB camera to complete larger scale aerial survey, guide our tractors to level the land, and also you can see the size confirmation of the field you operated. During the growing season, you can also use the drone to do the emergence analysis so that you can use this multispectral lens to view the difference in crop growth in real time and guide the airgrass drones to perform precise variable fertilization and spraying. Because this is a real-time remote control display screen, and we can bring it to do our intelligent field scouting to check anytime whether there's a problem with the crop. And more, yield monitoring can also be carried out when the crops are mature. In addition to the application of farmland, M3M is also applied to the collection of high-definition maps of orchards to generate the operation routes of the airgrass drones. Now, let's actually test its various functions. For a large farm, sky surveys once every 1 to 2 weeks are very necessary. You can only operate this M3M to reveal the situations in the field in a real time. For example, if you see our crop lodging now, you can take a photo, and then you can also check the growth of the entire crop through a multispectral lens. If you want to see the visible light and multispectral images at the same time, you can split the images on a remote control so that you can see them together for comparison. Sky survey is generally repetitive labor, so it is recommended that you use automatic field survey. This engineer suggested that everyone plan the mission as a route, which means that your flight route can be saved in your remote control. When you need to fly the same land at any time, you only need to pull out this land. The drone will work autonomously by itself. This is our set operation task in his remote control. He directly pull them out and tap the takeoff button, and the M3M will start to take pictures by itself. Now you can see the M3M reaches the first operation point. Your hand does not need to touch any buttons on the remote control. Because M3M can fly relatively high, so the number of the photos is not many. You can easily check whether there's any problems with the crop through these photos. How does the crop growth and health condition looks like? You can see that the small area he fly just took 2 to 3 minutes. Just took a few photos to complete the work, and our daily scouting work needs to work for a long time. So how are these photos processed and how are they used? These photos can be directly uploaded to the DJI Agriculture Smart Cloud platform through the remote control in the form of a folder. It's just like we use a Google account. You put the files into the Google account, and it's like you go to any computer. Whenever you need to use it, you can use your own account and a password to log in. After uploading, you can directly view the photos you just took on the cloud platform. You can find these photos in the photo library, and you can also create a new field inspection task. The small white dots on the picture are the corresponding photos. This picture he took, you can see there's our slide login, so you can add comments and submit. If your team logs into this platform with the permission you authorized, they can also view these uploaded photos and your notes. So from here, you can see the M3M flies longer and flies fast. So the aerial survey work efficiency will be very high. How much areas can one battery measure the field? Let's test it together. Here he planned a plot 2,000 mu. The mu of this plot in China should be divided by 6 to get the number of our acres. This is about 330 acres. His flying altitude is 150 meters and his flying speed is 50 meters per second. You can see the drone is flying autonomously in the field, and his hands actually does not touch any buttons. Just like the operation you saw, the picture are uploaded to the cloud platform to generate operation maps. And egg restaurants can see these pictures after they are connected to the network. You can see that their clarity is very high. You can see the utility poles, the wires, and boundaries of the plots. And one more thing here, some friends, they don't know, just to say, I already have the Google GPS map. Why should I use this to fly again? Because of M3M's RTK positioning function, its accuracy is much more accurate compared with satellite maps. It's like sometimes we drive to our friend's house, but we end up at the neighbor's house next to the friends. With this precise map, your operation error is 2.47 centimeters. If you fly M3M without RTK mobile station, the error is about 1 meter. So how do we usually use this picture for the operations? You can plan directly on this high definition map. After you select the plot that you need to be operated, you can see clearly if there's any obstacle in it. You can directly use the selection of the obstacles, select and add in the right menu bar, and it will generate a dot. You can choose the language of this remote controller, English, French, Spanish. In this way, the entire worksite can be easily planned and completed. And then you can use Agras T40 drone to directly call the plot to perform a fully autonomous flight operation. M3M can not only help us to see the difference in crop growth, but also help us to carry out precise variable fertilization and liquid spraying. Now let's look at the details of the operation. Same as above operation, we use M3M to take aerial photos, build maps, and then combine visible light and NDVI maps to view. From here, we can see the difference in crop growth, which is very obvious. The corresponding different colors refer to the growth of the crops. And then you can select the areas that require variable fertilization or spraying. Like a tractor, you can select the grade of the prescription map here. You can choose this grade yourself and then enter the usage amount of the required variable. This engineer is calculated according to the measurement in China. Converted to our Canadian measurement, you need times 6. He said, for example, use 5 kilograms on average if you use 3 kilograms for a good growing area and 7 kilograms for a bad area. The grades of the different colors on the generated prescription map represents different fertilization amounts in each small area. Same as what he did above, you can share the VR map with your own Agrass drone through your own account, and then you can use the remote control of the T40 to directly download the job to do the operation. So, what value can VR map bring us? He used 1,000 mu of the rice as an example, and which is about 165 acres. And finally, they saved 10% of the chemical fertilizers and increased the yield by 5% and generate a total income of 15,000 Canadian dollar. So it's roughly about 190 to 100 Canadian dollars per 1 acre. So in addition to the application of M3M in farmland, it also brings great efficiency improvement in the aerial survey of the orchards. Phantom 4 RTK and the M3M are more suitable for large orchards. How efficient it is, let's test it together. So now it's a fully autonomous fly again. The engineer planned a total of 15 routes, and now the drone has completed 13 routes with one battery, which means that the aerial survey of 850 mu is equal to 142 acres that has been completed. So he reminded that you can see the rolling hills behind him, and there are several hills altogether. So that means that the M3M will keep climbing and descending during the aerial survey, and its overall efficiency will be reduced. If it is a flat orchard, the efficiency will be much higher. Same as the operation above, you can generate our high-definition 3D maps from the photos you take through the computer version of the Terra software or through the Smart Agriculture cloud platform. The different colors you see represents different objects such as buildings, the utility pools, and trees. Then you can also generate our 3D job roads. Now let's get back to the slides. So now you can see the major job of the multispectral drone is to monitor the multispectral data of the crops to get the accurate plant health data through different bands reflections so as to manage the crop's well growth. This is a test picture in China. Our previous multispectral drone that just can do 4 things: variable fertilization, spraying, precise weeding, variable irrigation, and variable control. Now the M3M can do 2 more things, including scouting the field and video recording. So from this picture that you can see, the color of the crops gradually becomes uniform. In many multispectral software, that red represents the dead plants. But in this map, the DJI Terra software, red represents the value of the chlorophyll index. So we have some case study links for the crops here, and welcome to browse. And also you can use this to count the seedlings. This is different from our the traditional way to count the seedling. It involves our large areas. The counting will be more accurate. I think the most important things to use this M3M is to monitor the early stage of the crop growth instead of anything seriously happen and it's too late. And also you can have the accurate data and pictures to manage the crops in each stage. And also it allows our growers and agronomists to scout the field much faster, reducing the risk of unhealthy crops by many means during the growth. And the most important things is the more precise data and much clearer pictures compared with all the previous models. And there's a thing I'm going to talk later on. So it's a mechanical shutter. It allows the drone to fly very fast. So here we did some simple comparison between the M3M with the Phantom 4 RTK and the P4M. So here you can see the mechanical shutter is 5 times faster compared with the Phantom 4 RTK. And also the flight speed is 50 meters per second. That means you can get 500 acres done in a single flight, 42 minutes. And with the Phantom 4 RTK, the previous models, that the flight speed is only 6 meters per second. And with one battery flight time, you can just have 100 acres done. So this is 5 times faster. And here we have highlight, and also you can see the flight time for single one batteries is 42 minutes, and each one drone comes with 3 batteries. It's good enough for you to operate the whole morning or whole afternoon, and then you bring back to charge. And here's the thing we mentioned in the above videos, the sunlight sensor. So it does not affect it with the time of the day that you will take the photos for the field. So the angles is more wide, so you can bring to the field to do the operations at any time. So here is the Mavic 3M. So it's equipped with RTK module. So you could have the centimeter level high precision positioning. So with using the DRTK2 mobile station, that your positioning accuracy is 2.47 centimeters. This picture is more suitable for our researchers to see if the multispectral band of the crop you need is in this range. So here's the advantages of the M3M. It is all-in-one platform, it's easy to operate, and you could have everything in your own account, and you can pull out all the information at any time. So that's not only included the RTK modules, but also you have the RGB imagery, and you could have the multispectral imagery. So that's what we said, it's all-in-one platform, and you don't need the calibration panel. And it's a high resolution, and also this is support like what we said, support RGB cameras view, and the vegetation index, those multispectral images all the same time, so you can compare the two photos. And the DJI Terra software support 2D and 3D and multispectral mapping all together. So you could integrate all the solutions in the same platform. And here we have some ground imitation flight by using the Mavic 3M. So the wide-angle visual sensor to help you to cover large areas and to accurately detect the obstacles from any angles. So you can just use these images without any worries. So in the field of the application, we can see this is the photos from the real camera. So we might want to know what are we looking at in these two photos, so that you can see from this M3M, you can automatically use a drone to scout your field, and these real-time photos can help you to discover the lack of the seedings, where's the weed area, and where's the lodging area in the field before it's too late. And this is what we call the AI recognition. This can be used to complete the intelligent analysis, such as wheat yield measurement, plus the you could have the real-time monitoring of the crop growth information, and so that you can manage it with your crop scientifically. Saving does not mean reducing. We do not want to waste or lodging crops that don't need nutrition. We can use this data to make accurate input. This is all the data that you can read from the remote controller or DJI software. This is very convenient for your work management. And here is some examples. No matter you have some research plot or larger field, so you can always have the M3M mapping for you, and you could have those imagery to get them all together, stitching together with the DJI Terra software. So you could use the third-party software as well. So there's Pix 4D Fields software, Agro Scout, and AgroMo software, and there's some other companies also work with DJI for a very long time, and so you can check with them to see whether their software is working with DJI's the Neo M3M. There's a disease detection. You can zoom in, zoom out to see the details and to have very clear resolution imagery. And also you can use, here we can see you needed to uploading this to Agro Scout for the disease AI detections. And this is also good for the orchard management. And we have growers once told us, they said we have been in this orchard for many generations, but we never know how many trees we have in the orchard. And with these drones, you can have this happen. So this is not only count the trees, but also it will and detect the canopy of the trees. You can monitor the tree growth during the whole season. And this is a variable rate fertilization, like what we see from the previous video. You could have your the whole field detected by using the M3M, and you can apply for the variable rate, and then you gradually get the very uniform growth of the crops. Another examples of the VRA. So this is something we am really interested to see it. So this is our using, this is actually a Hungary example. So here is not the mixture that they are using into the field. This is chemicals. It's without mixing the water yet. So you can see with the blanket application by using tractor, you need to use 5 liters per hectare. By using the drones, and you reduce about 30%. And by using the spot spraying with the drones, by obtain the data from M3M, so you could save another 30%. So when at the end, you can see by using the blank applications, you probably need to use 90 liters of the chemicals. By using the spot spraying, you could save nearly 67%. So that's around 70% of the chemicals. This is a big saving. Why not? So here's the software that we're using for the M3M. So you can easily download them from the DJI.com, or you can visit our website to download them as well. So here's the packages for the M3M. And here's the price. So with the packages itself does not include the batteries. With the battery together, total roughly about $7,000. So when we talk about the payback, so what is my cost and when we can get this payback? So usually we said for 500 acres, even you do $4 per acre, and you can just have $2,000 per one flight. And for example, if the grower needed to scout in the field 4 times during the season, and you get $8,000, so it's already covered the total cost. All right, that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. That's what we're here for. And thank you again, and I will see you next time.